This week on the WIU Football Coaches Show, the Leathernecks traveled west to northern Arizona in a high-altitude clash. Highlights with Coach Fisher coming up. Also, how do players balance both school and football? That and a whole lot more on the way next on your home for all things Leatherneck football. Another episode of the WIU Football Coaches Show. I'm Danny Fry alongside Leatherneck head football coach Charlie Fisher. Western kept rolling on the road of a commanding 38-20 Week 2 win at Northern Arizona. The Lumberjacks didn't really roll over, but the Leathernecks just kept fighting, Coach.
That was a great win. We talked going in, one of our themes was attitude over altitude, and we had to have great resilience, great resolve to win on the road at third place, tough place to play, great environment. Got off to a fast start, and we kept we kind of stayed the course, and we really finished well.
You talk about some of the mindsets there, Coach. What was the offensive game plan heading into that ball game?
Well, the way we're structured, we're gonna use our jet sweep package to get the ball in the perimeter. That's kind of our perimeter runs. We mix it up. We're a heavy zone team, heavy play action. We hit some big plays in the passing game once Sean settled down, and then our defense was outstanding. I mean, we got Case Cookus under control for the most part, and we really stopped their running game.
Let's check out the first half highlights coming from the Sky Dome. You do this, you think scale down from up top?
I certainly tried. I'd like to do that. They didn't ask me to do it before the game, but
instead, you led your team out there, and the Leatherneck, Play Like a Leatherneck sign made it to Flagstaff.
I did.
Arizona native Nick Ziegenbein on the equipment staff. And you talked about it, Coach, the play before, second play on Western's opening drive. Jalen Ackland goes around the edge for a 63-yard touchdown run. Why did that play work as you talk about that perimeter run?
Well, great blocking on the perimeter by our tight end, Zeke LaShore. A great read by Sean, because that's really kind of an option. He can hand it off inside or give it to the outside run. We had numbers. And I'll tell you, Jalen Ackland's playing good football.
He is, and he can run or catch it. I think he likes doing a little bit of both. We'll find out a little later on in the show if he likes to run it or catch it. So on the very next WIU drive, 11 minutes left in the first quarter, Sean McGuire is picked off for the first time this season. Just overthrew Ezekiel Shore a little bit there?
Yeah, he did overthrow him. It really wasn't a good read by Sean. It really wasn't. They had post safety coverage. He threw a post into that, and the kid did a good job of playing it. But, the great thing about Sean, he rebounded from this later in the game and played very well.
Ensuing Northern Arizona drive to start filling in, at least in the first half, one of those dual sport guys, Justin Fitzpatrick, also a member of the WIU baseball team, a really impressive interception stopping the Lumberjack threat.
Yeah, it was a great play by Fitz. He's just such a great young man and an outstanding teammate. Came in, he knows his job, he knows his role, and he's really playing at a high level.
The Leathernecks led 7-0 at the end of the first quarter, and then in the second, McGuire finds Ackland and then into NAU territory at the 42. Good route running there by Ack.
Very good. It's a big play for us. We call that boomer, and it's a big play, and it's this opportunity for us right here.
A 27-yarder made by Sam Crosa, 9:12 remaining in the second quarter, 10-0 Leathernecks. Case Cookus, though, would get the Lumberjacks down to the 5 on this pass play over the middle to Moorhand. He had a pretty impressive ball game. And then, after Cookus got him down there, Stone Smart enters in at quarterback, and he plunges in from 5 yards out, trimming the Leatherneck advantage to 10-7, 5:34 left in the second quarter. And that was a good change of pace by NAU, switching over to Stone Smart. Moving on, the Leathernecks had one more drive in them in the first half. Norris busts off a 29-yard run. He makes it look so easy, Coach.
Yeah, Norris is playing well. He's running with great energy. He's a little banged up. It tells you a lot about him, how hard he's playing.
McGuire dumps it off to Ackland. You mentioned playing good football. He has some nice moves down to the 2.
He did. Just a little jailbreak screen for us, and did a nice job of setting up his blocks and just weaseling his way through there and a good finish. 4th
down and goal, Coach. You went for it. Norris finds pay dirt from a yard out. What went into that decision?
Well, it was an easy decision. We had the ball down there. We needed to go play to win, not to play conservative. And you got 4 senior offensive linemen and a junior. I'm gonna tag myself to them and give them a chance to win the game for us.
Big from a momentum standpoint, punch for half where Western would own a 17-7 halftime lead heading into the locker room. And Coach, we're going to talk about on that 4th down. Some coaches just take the points there, but why did you believe in your team so much there at the end?
Well, I've always, since I've been here, and really my career as head coach, I'm more than willing to go for it. They give you 4 downs for a reason, and you just have to use your, just your best football instincts there. I just felt like my team we could run the ball on them. I felt like we could finish there. And again, we've got a lot of experience up front. Max, who's an outstanding goal line runner, it just set up perfectly. We need to do that. If we didn't get it, at the very worst, Cookus wasn't going to get the ball. The half was over, and we still were going to go in with a lead at halftime.
It's time again for the 2-minute drill where you can get to know the player underneath the helmet a little bit better with, of course, rapid fire questions. And this week's guest is Jalen Acklin. He had a big week, but how would he handle in the hot seat for the 2-minute drill? All right, start off talking about the football team. How would you describe the start to Leatherneck football this season?
I mean, it's kind of expected. You know, we started out 2-0 last year, and we believe we have a better team this year, especially defensively. So, you know, we're not surprised, but, you know, we hope to finish off the season better. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And so that's what we're really focused on right now.
How's the team buying in to finish this fight?
The team is really buying in. You know, last year we didn't finish, and that comes from, like, not finishing practice, not finishing weights. But this year we're really selling into, like, finishing everything that we do. So hopefully that turns over to on the field, too.
All right, now to the fun stuff. Do you have a nickname?
People just call me Jay, or Triple Play Jay is my Xbox name.
Triple Play, did anything go into that?
Triple Play Jay, I turned a triple play in 6th grade in the state championship, and we ended up winning.
On the team, who's the biggest jokester, kind of the class clown?
Biggest jokester, probably Sean McGuire.
Coach Fisher says a lot of things. Do you have a favorite Coach Fisher saying?
Man, there's so many. Shove it right up their backside. He always says that.
There you go. But did you have? I asked Colin this, and he had a couple hidden talents. Do you have a hidden talent?
Yeah, I know card tricks and magic.
Do you have a favorite movie or TV show that's a go-to?
Favorite TV show is The Office, probably. I would say The Office.
You've done a little bit of both. Would you rather run the ball or catch the ball for a touchdown?
Catch the ball.
Now, if you had to have a superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation.
Oh, that's a good one for your position. Favorite cereal, favorite breakfast food?
Wheaties.
That's good to have too. And do you have a favorite professional sports team?
The U.S. men's national team, soccer.
And if you had to play a sport, and maybe play a sport other than football, what would it be?
Soccer.
All right, Jalen, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Danny. Thanks for having me.
When we come back, Coach Fisher and I will break down highlights from the second half at Northern Arizona. Stick around. Welcome back to the WIU from Danny Fry alongside Leatherneck head football coach Charlie Fisher. Western Illinois led 17-7 at half, and coach had to feel good to be up double digits again on the road.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, and we had a lot of momentum carried in with a touchdown within the 10-second mark of the second half. And you know, our guys were, the thing that I like is our demeanor and our focus at halftime. We came out determined again to really put a good second half together.
And now to those second half highlights coming from the Walk-Up Sky Dome in Flagstaff, Arizona. So the Leathernecks coming out of there, I mean, how much was it momentum-wise to get that score in before half? Huge, and it just gives you guys a boost of confidence, obviously, this play. And the defense, 8:49 left in the third quarter. Cook is pressured, fumbles the football, picked up by Eric Carrera for a touchdown. Couldn't ask for a better start defensively. Colin Saunders, Aaron Diggs, I mean, what a second half Diggs played. But, you know, we're able to get around the quarterback, and it makes all the difference in the world. Now, that wouldn't, however, keep Cookus down. And if we're respectable All-American, you wouldn't expect that. And he will fire it over the middle to Brewington for a gain of 31 yards after the Leathernecks celebrate the touchdown. And that's just good throw, kind of got behind the secondary there. Yeah, hard to stop that. I mean, it's a seam ball, and he just threaded it right on the money. This kid's good. I mean, make no mistake about it. They changed the tempo. They went fast, and were able to create a little different dynamic. Very next play, like you said, going fast to Baldwin, 30-yard touchdown strike. Quinn and Moon, however, would block the extra point, 24-13 Western, 7:25 left to go in the third quarter. Northern Arizona not going down easy. And this seems like a simple play, but Zeke was short, just so hard to bring down. A great play by Zeke. I mean, again, one of those energy plays. I mean, he broke 3 or 4 tackles, and it just keeps momentum going on your side. We had to answer them, and we did. You would on this play, Coach. A hard bomb from McGuire to a wide open Jalen Acklin in the end zone. Why was he so wide open there, Coach?
Double move, split safety coverage. Exactly, we've run this play. You'd see it right there. It's a great double move with his eyes and his feet. And I always tell the players, you get a reward if you set up the first stem. And he did, and he was wide open.
And he, of course, loves it. Jalen told us he just loves the camera, and you can see it. WIU ahead 31-13 after 3 quarters of play. Terrific start to the 4th quarter for the Lumberjacks as Cookus finds Kemhart slant, keeping them right in this ballgame, trailing 31-20. Important time in the game for Western to come back because NAU starting with that comeback.
Yeah, we had to answer it, and it's a great start. Just a little now screen out to Brandon Gaston, who had a very good game. You know, he always plays hard, and he's getting involved in our pass game now.
And then McGuire waits for his blockers and scampers in from 13 yards away, 38-20. Leathernecks 7:20 to go in the ballgame. Sean, such a smart runner.
Yeah, he's very patient here. He's strong. He's tough, and really, really nice play. Well blocked. A huge block there at the end to set him free.
So with that 18-point advantage, Northern Arizona, they would have to really go into the bag of tricks to try and get back into this game. That is exactly what they would do. But Coach, the Leathernecks were ready for this play. Hunter Burden ends up throwing it, double move there, and then picked off by Tyron Holloway. Yeah. Somehow reels that in, Coach.
Yeah, I like this guy on our team. He's a good addition, isn't he, Danny?
I think you knew something there.
Yeah, how good is he? He was really good at Liberty, and he's been a great grad student addition. He's played really well.
Sealed off the victory for the Leathernecks. The next few minutes they would go and grind out the clock. 2-0 again, Coach. What's the key to a good start?
Well, we're running the ball really well and we're stopping the run. That's a great start. We got a veteran team. We got a bunch of guys that believe in what we're doing. Their really mindset is to just kind of finish what we really had going last year. And we had an unfortunate ending, but sometimes you learn from those things. Listen, make no mistake, we got a lot of work ahead of us, but we got a great group of guys. We got a guy Herman to play their best football every week.
Another 100-yard rushing performance for Max Norris, 23 rushes, 103 yards. Jalen Ackland, 5 receptions, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Of course, Brett Taylor with a dozen tackles. That you can pretty much just pencil that in about every game, right? And Coach, you talked about attitude over the altitude, but really what did the elevation do, Coach, if anything at all on Saturday?
I think it affected us a little, but not as much as Matt Jacobs did a great job of helping prepare our guys. I mean, we did a couple things. Obviously, you got to get rated well. We always do that. We always talk to our players about taking care of their body, and then we had the oxygen on the sideline. That helps, and it certainly not only helps physically, it helps mentally. When you just have that feeling like, hey, you're helping your body in the altitude. There's no question it was a factor. I thought in the 3rd quarter when their tempo went up, it probably affected us a little, but give credit to our guys. They fought through that, which we had to. That's your attitude part, and we finished the game.
And you talk about the guy really on the defensive side. I mean, how pleased are you with them to start out this season?
Oh, I mean, just, we had to. We made some changes, things that I thought hard about after the season. I don't ever just make a decision to make it. Going to the 3-4. Scheme is one thing. It's the attitude, the execution, that's the other. And we're getting a mix of both. And our defense is playing lights out.
Just how physical, the offensive side of the ball, just how physical are those big guys up front? Jacob Judd saying at media day, beginning of the year, we feel we're the best line, not in the Valley, but in the nation. Man, they're showing it.
They're really good. And a great group of kids. They're unselfish, team-oriented guys. Danny, we want to make it a fist fight every week. I mean, that's what we want to make it. We're a tough, hard-nosed, blue-collar team. That's my demeanor. That's how we're going to win.
And it seems like the team is just really playing better in that second half and finishing plays out.
Yeah, right now we are, and we got to continue that. I mean, we're going to play a lot of tough games, and this preseason schedule, we played a solid Tennessee Tech team, very good Northern Arizona team on the road, and Coastal's next, and they're very good. So it just helps get you ready for what's going to be a tough Valley schedule.
And Coach, you got to be road warriors at the beginning. I'm sure we'll ask this question later on, but away from home for a month. Yeah,
I don't know if there's another team in the country what we're doing. That's going 3 straight road games, 3 different time zones, a lot of travel, and you got to be a road dog, as we like to say. And you just got to find a way. And we can do something that would be unprecedented in college football to do that, to win 3 in a row on the road in 3 different time zones.
I didn't even think about the time zone thing. That's a very good point. Getting adjusted, schedule-wise, that throws things off. So more on the way coming up next on the WIU Football Coaches Show right after this timeout.
wins the game! She wins the game! The Leathernecks win!
Welcome back. I'm Danny Fry, host of the WIU Football Coaches Show alongside head coach Charlie Fisher. Being a student athlete isn't as easy as it seems. Juggling multiple commitments means you have to have great time management, and we're not talking about crunch time in the fourth quarter. And Leatherneck players have found a way to balance both.
Challenges, just staying on top of your studying, you know, hitting weights at 5:30 in the morning, get done with practice at 7, and then going to all your meetings and just trying to balance both. You know, it's a full-time job.
You know, one of the things that's interesting about football in itself is the abuse that your body takes on a weekly basis. And so it's a little bit different than other sports just because of the physical nature of football. So finding that balance is the key, and what it really takes is a really mindset.
Last season, Leatherneck football eclipsed the 3.0 grade point average mark, proving that academic excellence can lead to success on the field.
I mean, it helps. I mean, obviously, if you stay eligible, that you'll get more opportunity in the field. You're not like stressing about getting bad grades, and you know that the coaches can trust you. If you can do well in the classroom, they know they can trust you on the field because you're going to get what you need to do done.
It's a change of culture, and I'm really, really proud of our athletic department. One of the things that we've really done is we don't just stress eligibility anymore. You know, academic excellence is one of our core values, and so excellence doesn't mean a C. Excellent means we strive for that A. And I think the coaches have bought into that mentality, especially Coach Fisher and his staff.
Jacob Judd, among others, has good relationships with his professors at WIU.
I say my professors are very helpful because I go in as much as I can to meet with my professors. I meet with them like an hour just one-on-one, and it helps me a lot because I get like that one-on-one teaching. My coaches, you know, they're staying up to date. They ask me every day, are you doing well in class? Do you need help with this?
Dr. Cody stresses more than just time management.
We talk about priority management. Okay, so what are our priorities? Put in your calendar, these are the things that you have to do that day. All right, so what's our second priority? You know, that second priority is going to be your academic time. So if you have a 2-hour time block between 1 and 3 and you're not doing anything, instead of taking a nap at that time, it's much better to approach your academics at that time instead of waiting until 11 o'clock at the end of the day when you're all worn out and those types of things.
There is some advice for young student athletes. For example, taking classes in the summer.
It just helps you get ahead. Instead of taking 15 credit hours in the fall, you can take 12. You just get as many credits you can out in the summer because you don't really have much else to do but football, and that's it. So have more summer classes you can take, the better, because you know you can get a lot of the work you need to get done in the semesters done in the summer.
Just get A's your freshman year because, I mean, those are probably going to be your easiest classes the next 4 years. Yeah, do everything you can to get a 4.0 then and be able to build off that.
Academic success is a choice. It's just like getting into shape. You know, if you want to get into shape, you're going to work out and eat right and do those types of things. If you're going to be academically successful, that's a choice. And so you have to choose to study. You have to choose to do the things that you need to do to be successful.
Coach, describe what it takes to be a great student athlete.
Well, you know, first of all, you got to have great balance between your academic work and your athletic work, and you have to have great time management. That's a great starting point, and to me it really comes down to having great pride in being the best of both. We always talk about setting a gold standard on and off the field. I think that's obvious. By last year we had over 3-0 as a team for the entire year, first time that's ever been done at WIU. We just take great pride in setting the standard of excellence and trying to achieve the very best.
Has that always been a high point for you to focus on, is focusing on the academics kind of everywhere you've been?
Well, you know, I was raised that way. My mom and dad were just, you know, the value they taught me was be the best at whatever you do. It doesn't matter. You know, I grew up in a farm family, and that's kind of just the way it was. You know, you worked hard, you scrapped to get everything you could and do it the best way you could, and it's a value I try to always teach my team that's going to go well beyond football.
And I don't think maybe impressed was the right word for the last year of the high GPA as a team. I want to set that as that standard now.
No doubt. I mean, it's a standard that you always want to keep getting better, and it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to people don't realize, you know, 3-0. They say, well, coach, that's good, but when you're talking about 100 players, it's different than having 10 or 15 on a team. You got a lot of different guys that are at different stages of their academic career.
And Coach, you got guys that we talked to, Jacob Judd, James Torgerson, Brett Taylor. I mean, they're right there at the top,
Right.
you know, in academic excellence in the Valley. How are they as, you know, just leaders?
Phenomenal young men do so well when their careers are over at whatever time that is. I mean, they got so many qualities that their parents have instilled in them that they brought here. And, you know, coaching guys like that makes it easy in a sense because they take great pride in their work. They're self-motivated. And it's just going to lead to their success off the field after they graduate and once they're done here.
Without a doubt, a great balance of both. So we will take one more break, come back. Coach and I will talk about the bye week after this on the WIU Football Coaches Show.
Western Illinois University allows you to think for yourself and to discover the freedom to become your own.
Own it at Western. Build your own expectations and fill your own shoes.
Explore an academic culture that adapts to you.
Create yourself and inspire originality in an open and safe environment.
Western Illinois University lets you make your own success story.
Think purple.
Think success.
Think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to the WIU Football Coaches Show. It's time to check in on how the Missouri Valley teams performed in the second week of action. And there were games, one that really stood out, South Dakota beating a MAC school in Bowling Green 35-27. And Youngstown State getting back on the winning track. They shut out Robert Morris. And other than that, a lot of tight games, a lot of really good games in the Valley in week 2. But how about what's on tap for week 3? Coming on, and we got another full slate. We got Northern Iowa at Southern Utah, Murray State at Missouri State, and North Dakota visiting South Dakota. That's a big one, the rival in South Dakota. So, Coach, we're already at an early week 3 bye week, and man, it seemed like we were just getting into the groove of returning to football. But how does your team see it? Too early or right at the
Well,
right
it's
time?
really just like last year. You know, we had 2 games, took a bye. You know, you'd rather see it a little bit later, but sometimes you can't dictate that. The schedule gives you what you get. But I think in this case, for 2 reasons, Danny. I think, number one, the travel's been pretty tough. We had a 10-hour bus ride. We just had a long flight. We got back at 8 in the morning. We got back at 6 in the morning. And then you put in the fact we've got to go to the East Coast and play in the Eastern and play an option team. And this kind of probably comes at a good time to help us, number one, recover. Number 2, get ready for a really tough option offense, which is totally different than anything you see.
And I was almost going to say, is it too early to peek ahead at Coastal Carolina? Or you're already planning for that? Of course, extra week to prepare, right?
Yeah, already planning. You know, every off week is different. Sometimes you focus on fundamentals. It's not that we would ever discard fundamentals. That's a big part of what we do. But from a schematic standpoint, you've got to start to get ready for the option right away. It's just totally different than anything you do.
Coaching staff look at the most during this bye week?
Well, at this point, we're totally focusing on Coastal. I mean, obviously we focus on ourselves. What can we do better? What can we wrinkle? But for a defensive standpoint, your scheme is just totally different getting ready for an option. You have to limit some things down. You have to be assignment sound, dive, quarterback, pitch. Offensively, we continue to tweak and do what we're doing well, make it better. What can we do to, you know, now we got a chance to kind of see where we are after 2 weeks, what we're doing well, who's performed, where we can insert those guys to help us even that much more.
Coach, while we have some time, I was over at Macomb High School the other day talking to head coach Tony Weston there, and they're playing music now at practice,
right.
Something that they took from Western Illinois, and he told me that if I can steal anything from Coach Fisher, that he would, and he was wondering if you were going to watch it. So I know you guys are pretty close. What's that relationship been like with the head guy at Macomb High?
Big, great. You know, Tony's obviously the Weston family is so deep in our tradition here at Western, and
Your
I got
office named after
absolutely. Got great respect, and Coach even he brings by donuts every week. He's been awesome. What a great friend and supporter of the program. And the thing I would ask Tony is just make sure he's playing some good classic rock and roll from the 70s, from my era.
I think they were doing a little bit. He told me that they were trying to clean up a little bit with that, but they were doing a good job. But it's great kind of talk at that level, especially when you have a guy like Brett Taylor, you know, Macomb grown, coming right from that program.
Yep, Macomb home. Call him, you know, Brett's been just a great ambassador for our program, and I got great respect for Brett. I mean, he could have gone a lot of places. He stayed right here at home, He's been a phenomenal player, but he's been a great example for our program and what we want to, the standard we want to set with academic excellence and football excellence.
No kickoff time to tell you about for next week, but the Leathernecks have a bye and are off to a 2-0 start, ranked 22nd in the nation. For Western Illinois head football coach Charlie Fisher, I'm Danny Fry. Thank you so much for watching.